Welcome back to the Tonight
Thank you so
Show.
much. It's so wonderful to be here.
We love having you here, but we have some very exciting news. You're expecting.
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is a third baby.
Yeah.
Third baby.
And I think the last.
All right, yeah, really, you're feeling it? Yeah.
This one was a surprise.
Okay.
Yes, no, this pregnancy happened to me. Yes.
That's very
But we're
funny.
thrilled.
Yeah,
And
you have two boys.
two boys.
already.
Yeah. Cyrus is 10 and Rowan is 4. So
10
it's going
and
to be
4.
quite a big span there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How are they feeling about this?
Cyrus was sort of resigned to it. I mean, the worst has already happened. His name is Rowan. Yeah.
He was like, that was the...
Yeah, but Rowan has more to lose. Like, he has more at stake, and he was categorically opposed to the idea. He said, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I like peace, Mama. I was like, you like peace.
I like peace, is what he said?
That's rich, because that dude does not shut up.
You like peace. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, he said, when it comes out of your tummy, we'll give it to a family that doesn't have a baby.
Yeah, wow. It's a good plan.
Because we're done.
He has a good plan. He's like, I'm the baby, man. I can't be a new baby.
So, no, he was less than thrilled. But then we talked about how when the baby comes out, it's going to be pretty dumb. Doesn't know a lot.
Yeah.
So, he's going to need assistance and some educating. That was interesting to him. He liked the idea of being sort of a condescending presence. So now he's a little more optimistic.
You know, every time that you've been pregnant, you've been on our show.
Okay.
So this is...
No, it makes me feel like I've always been pregnant. But
I mean, say it's good luck.
Sure.
And your kids, everyone's been, your whole family's been...
Makes me afraid to be booked.
It's interesting, yeah. So, but the whole family's been on our show.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it's a family affair.
Brood.
Yeah.
That's right.
I want to talk about Fleischman is in Trouble. Man, you've been getting great reviews for this. Congratulations.
Thank
you got
you.
nominated for a Golden Globe, Critics' Choice Award. Not too shabby. The series is based on a best-selling novel. How did you hear about the book?
Actually, my best friend not only gave it to me, she dragged me to the nearest bookstore, bought it for me, shoved it in my bag, and said, you have to read this book because I need to talk to you about the ending. Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, I was going to do reshoots on another limited series I did called The Essex Serpent, which took place in the Victorian era. And I was in my set bag because I had this assignment.
Yeah, you have to read the book.
Yeah, so I was like in a corset and surrounded by this Victorian environment.
We have a photo.
Yeah.
We have a photo of you reading the book.
And I was reading the book. And, and then I got the offer that week to play Rachel Fleischman. I know, isn't that weird? So, yeah.
You're reading it here, and then you get the offer to be the person in this book you're reading. That's magic.
Isn't that funny?
That's magic.
I know.
It's a fantastic book.
Oh, it is. It's great. It's great. And I did finally get to the end. And so...
Taffy's talented.
She's wonderful. She's a dear friend, and she's very gifted. And, yeah, she wrote a great character that I was very fortunate to play.
You and Jesse Eisenberg play a married couple going through a divorce.
A hard time.
Yeah. He was on the show pretty recently, and he was telling me a story that he met you years ago at a party and thought that he found his soulmate. And told his now wife, but it was his girlfriend who was at the party with him, which is hilarious. I think he said he was stoned or something.
Yeah.
And he went up to her, he's like, I think I've just found someone, my soulmate. And she goes, that's Claire Danes, good luck. She actually said that to him, yeah. Do you remember this meeting at all?
I did not remember the meeting. No, he told me that. There was a cast dinner, and he said, do you remember meeting? No. But I love Jesse very much.
Yeah.
And was thrilled that he found such a strong connection in our introduction. But no, I really did have the dreamiest time divorcing him. He's wonderful. I did. I know.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, you guys, what goes behind when you're doing a role where you have to get divorced?
Well, we didn't have that much time to rehearse, so it was fairly dense and sort of accelerated. But our directors, John and Val, who ironically are a very happily married couple, put together some exercises for us. So we did some journaling together. We sat in our respective bean bags, curiously. That seemed important. And we were given prompts. We were asked questions, and we had like 2 minutes to answer them, and then we read them to each other. Like what initially attracted us to each other, why we're disappointed in each other now, which is mildly uncomfortable, but also very annoying because he's a very gifted professional writer as well.
Jesse,
Yeah, so wrote these very articulate kind of poetic musings about our character's history, and I just had words to
You're like, hey,
offer up.
Jesse, dial it down a little bit. Come on, this isn't the part here. Yeah.
So he won that game.
Yeah.
But then we played dodgeball, too, which was surprising.
Really?
And I did not wear the right footwear.
Did you know you were playing dodgeball?
No, nobody said that.
When was the last time you played dodgeball?
5th grade.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I was wearing clogs, which I don't recommend. But I think I did win that one.
There's one scene that went viral. It's your character's at a yoga retreat, and you're asked to do a primal scream.
Yeah.
And man, oh man, Claire Danes, you went for it, bud.
I did.
You went for it. It went viral all over the internet the next time. You're like, how did you pull off the scream and were you...
Well, I'm not like formally trained. I work in the television, not the theater. So I was worried that I was going to blow my voice out. But John and Val were aware of the risk, and so they had it. We ended up doing one take, but I was kind of surprised that I had all that breath. It just kept going, the scream. After a while, I was just sort of observing it. Yeah. It felt like I was riding this wave.
It must feel good to just do that and just get it out.
It was great. I recommend it.
Everyone could do it. For
Yeah.
anyone who hasn't seen the series yet, how do you explain what it's about?
It's about a New York middle-aged couple who are going through a divorce. The story is told by the husband's kind of college-age friend, and it broadens out, and suddenly there are many middle-aged New Yorkers going through various crises of their own. But
it's fantastic. I want to show a clip. Here's Claire Danes in Fleischman is in Trouble. Take a look at this.
I haven't been drinking coffee. So.
What is going on?
There's so many parts to this.
Rachel.
I also have all this tea. It might be easier. I bought all this tea because I was having a hard time sleeping, but all it did was just keep me in the bathroom all night. I feel like I don't know where my toaster is, but I do have some bread.
Rachel.
I want to be honest with you. I don't think I can make you coffee right now.
Oh, come on. Claire Danes, you're unbelievable. The FX series Fleischman is in Trouble is streaming now on Hulu. Roman Reigns joins us next. Stick around, everybody.
Hey, hey.